I'm Jason Bovada, and these are my 2021 NFL Week 1 picks. Okay, so it is currently 6:05 p.m. here in San Francisco. It's Sunday, September 5th. We're about 3 days away from opening I'm Jason Bovada, and these are my NFL. I'm Jason Bovada, and these are my 2021 NFL Week 1 picks. Okay, so it is currently 6:06 p.m. here in San Francisco, Sunday, September 5th, 2021. We're about 4 days away from the first game of the NFL 2021 season. So let's get our bets in. The first bet I'm going to take are the Super Bowl defending champions winning versus the Dallas Cowboys. I like the -7 at home. I mean, Dak Prescott hasn't thrown a football in a game in over a year. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a really good defense. Everyone returning, 22 returning starters from that team last year. They're ready to go. They won the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. I have no reason to think that the Dallas Cowboys can keep up with this team. Next game I'm going to go with are the Arizona Cardinals. I like Murray more than I like Tannehill. So I think Murray with Hopkins is a better offensive squad than Tannehill and Julio Jones. So I'm going to take +3 points with them. They may lose the game, but I still think they keep it close. They may win. They could cover. They're playing in the best division versus the Rams, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. So I'm not expecting the Cardinals to take too many steps back this season. Next game I'm going to go with are the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to believe the hype of Trevor Lawrence. Texans, I don't know if they even have a quarterback. So I'm not going to take the point spread. That seemed like too many points for Lawrence to get on a road, but I do believe the Jaguars could win this game on offense or even on defense. I'm going to stay away from the Chargers and Washington football team. I want to see how good Herbert is, and we already know the Washington football team defense is basically top 5, top 3 in the league. So that's just a game I'm just going to sit back and enjoy. I really like Minnesota Vikings -3 versus the Cincinnati Bengals. From what I understand, Burrow is playing this week. He will be back. I don't know if he's back at full speed. I really do believe Minnesota should win this game, but I'm going to stay away from it. My first upset pick of the week, I think the Jets could win this game. I really do. Personally, I like Zach Wilson more than I like Sam Darnold. I think there is some of the revenge factor in it with Sam Darnold playing with the Panthers. They are a better team than the Jets. But I think that Jets defense knows Sam Darnold well enough to not give up that many big plays to him. I mean, they probably do have to worry about McCaffrey more. But you know what? I'm going to start riding the hype of Zach Wilson +5 points. I'm going to take the Jets. I do believe they could actually win this game, but I would just take +5 points. The Philadelphia Eagles are a complete disaster, and Atlanta Falcons are a complete disaster. But in this game, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons -3. This is a completely insane bet. But I really don't like the Eagles organization. I mean, I love Philadelphia, and I wish they were a better team. But, they fired the coach. They got rid of the quarterback. They just brought in Minshew to back up Hurts. Who's the starting quarterback on that team? even the starting quarterback doesn't even have any weapons. That organization they're a complete disaster. So I'm gonna believe that the Atlanta Falcons could win this game by minus 3.5 in this game. I'm gonna ride with the Atlanta Falcons. This is a very tough game to pick. The Steelers usually start off the season 9-10-0, but they have a definitely harder schedule this year. I think playing the Bills on the road seems like too big of a task. Minus 280 on a money line. I like that more than the minus 6.5. We already know the Steelers are gonna put up some points. They're not gonna get blown out in this game. I don't believe. I do believe Buffalo Bills have the weapons to blow out the Steelers, but in this game at home, first game of the season, we know the Steelers are tough. I'm gonna take the Buffalo Bills just on the money line. 6.5 does seem like a lot of points. Right, it seems like a lot of points for the Steelers on the road, and we know this team is going to make the playoffs this year. So, I like Buffalo. I think they win this game. 6.5. I'm gonna stay away from the San Francisco 49ers minus 7.5. I actually don't think that's enough. I see this team winning by 13, 14 points. This is a very easy game. I don't think the Detroit Lions even have any kickers. This is seems like the easiest. If you wanted to just play the 49ers on the money line, I'm going to be putting the 49ers in many parlays this weekend. But if you don't like the 7.5 on the road, I still think they're a better team. I don't know if Lance is playing for the 49ers, but I believe Jimmy Garoppolo is good enough to win this game versus the Detroit Lions. Next game I'm going to have to go with is Seattle Seahawks. It seems kind of fishy. I think everybody on the team still hates each other. But Indianapolis, they are a disaster. They have a lot of injuries. I think Wentz is playing. I have no idea if he's playing. But if he doesn't play, I don't think any of the backups did anything impressive this preseason for me to think that they could beat the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm going to take the minus 2.5 for Seattle Seahawks to beat the Indianapolis Colts. Kansas City versus the Browns. I'm going to take Kansas City on the money line. We already know Kansas City wins almost all the games. They don't cover. They're not going to cover. We know this Browns team does have a lot of weapons on offense. Beckham Jr. is back. Baker's looking to have that great season to take that step up. I don't think they're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, right? They could beat a lot of other teams in this league. I really do like the Browns this season, but they're not beating the Kansas City Chiefs on the road in week 1. I like Denver versus the New York Giants. If you think the Eagles organization is a disaster, I think this season right here could be a complete unraveling for the Giants. Hopefully Barkley is back and at full strength this season, but Daniel Jones is a complete liability. He is a complete liability for that team. And I don't think if he can't do it this season, they're going to have to look for a new quarterback. And sooner or later, the Giants are just going to be in rebuild mode. So I'm fading the Giants most of this season. And Denver, they seem a lot better. They're not really going through the COVID process this season when they had 0 quarterbacks. They definitely have 2 competent, really good starting quarterbacks. I would like to take the Broncos on the money line. I'm just going to stay away from the game. We have the Packers. Next game I'm going to take are the Packers minus 4.5 on the road versus the Saints. This game is actually being played in Jacksonville because of the hurricane in New Orleans. I think that takes away New Orleans' biggest advantage against the Packers. I know they picked this game in Jacksonville because they said something about that's Rodgers' worst statistical performance. But I mean, he wasn't playing the Saints defense. The Jacksonville Jags are known for a really good defense. So I don't think him playing on a certain field is why he played bad in Jacksonville. I don't think the Saints have a good defense. And Jameis Winston, I still know him as the quarterback that threw 30 interceptions in a season, right? So I would take Rodgers over the quarterback that threw 30 interceptions. Next game we're gonna take, I believe I'm riding with Mac Jones. Miami, they seem to have a lot of problems. Last season, Tua was the starter. I mean, Fitzpatrick started most of the games last season. Miami was in playoff contention. And then they benched him, put Tua in. Tua didn't perform so well a few games. And then they benched him in the middle of the season. And now they're talking about trading for Deshaun Watson, who Houston won't even let him play because of all of his accusations. So what does that really say about Miami's opinion about Tua? I mean, come on. It seems like this team does not like him. They don't really trust him as their starter. Well, I think the Patriots, they had a lot of players out last season because of COVID. A lot of players chose not to come back last season. They have a full roster. They don't have a backup quarterback this year. They're going all in with Mac Jones. He seems to know the offense. He seems ready from day one. I'm taking the New England Patriots -3. That seems like a gimme. The Patriots are not going to give up many points to a Tua offense. So I'm going to take the New England Patriots -3 at home. In the last game, I will be taking, this seems like a lock to me. I like the Rams defense. I think they're a top 5 defense, and their offense should be way better than it was last season. We'll see how real Stafford is this season, but opening game at home versus a Bears team where literally 99% of the fan base wants Fields to play, but they're putting in the Red Rocket. So I think this is kind of a gimme game. It seems like a game where the Bears could lose and justifiably put Fields in later on in the season. So it seems like a setup to fail week for the Bears. I like the -7.5. We know the Bears will always have a really good defense. I just don't think the offense could keep up with the Rams offense. So I'll take the -7.5. If you want to take the Rams on the money line, I would be parlaying the Rams with, as many teams as you could possibly parlay the Rams. They seem like a lock on the money line. But I'm having fun with this. It's a 12-bet parlay, so I'm going to take the -7.5. Okay, so this is a 12-pick parlay. This parlay is a plus 1061.88. Taking the Green Bay Packers -4 versus the Saints. We're taking the Rams -7.5 versus the Bears. Patriots -3 versus Miami. We're taking the Chiefs on the money line versus the Browns. We're taking Seattle Seahawks on the road -2.5 versus Indianapolis Colts. We're going to take the +3 points from with Arizona at Tennessee. We're taking San Francisco 49ers -7.5 on the road versus the Detroit Lions. We're going to take +5 with my boy Zach Wilson and New York Jets on the road versus Carolina Panthers. We're going to ride with another rookie, my boy, Trevor Lawrence, on the road on a money line at Houston. We're going to take the Atlanta Falcons -3.5 because they are playing the Philadelphia Eagles. We're taking the Buffalo Bills on a money line versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe that line was like 6.5 or 6. It was just a little bit too many points for me to take. But I do believe Buffalo wins this game. And for my lock of the week, I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -7.5. When I say when I say lock of the week, I mean on the money line with the Buccaneers. I put Buccaneers in basically all of my parlays. I'm having fun with this parlay. We're trying to make the most money we could possibly make, of course. So this parlay has a lot of against the spread bets. But for the lock of the week, I am taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a money line. We're going to risk $5 to win $5,309.39. Okay, so there you have it. That's my 2021 NFL Week 1 picks. Packers, Rams, Patriots, Chiefs, Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers, Jets, Jaguars, Falcons, Buffalo Bills, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're also going to do a real quick teaser. I'm really having a lot of fun with some of these teaser picks. So I want to move the line. I'll just move this line about 6 points. And I'm going to tease the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to add 6 points. With a teaser, you are, at least for Bovada teasers, you are allowed up to 10 picks, and you can move. Your first picks will be at a plus 6 points, and you can go all the way up to plus 13 points. So just for reference sake, you can see I could move this to a 10 pick. You know what, let's move it down to, no, I don't want to do a 13 point. We'll do a 6 point. So with this 10 pick, 6 point teaser, we now have the Green Bay Packers at plus 1.5. We'll take the Rams at minus 1.5. We're going to get the New England Patriots at plus 3. We're going to get the Kansas City Chiefs at even money, 0. We're going to get the Seattle Seahawks at plus 3.5. We're going to get the Arizona Cardinals at plus 9. We got San Francisco 49ers at minus 1.5. We're getting the Jets at plus 11. We're getting the Atlanta Falcons at plus 2.5. And we're going to get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at minus 1.5. This is a 6 point, 10 point, 10 team teaser. And we're going to put down $4 to win $100. Okay, so there you have it. Those were a 12-team parlay, and then we have a 10-team teaser, 6 point teaser that moved the line 6 point in our favor. We took the Green Bay Buccaneers plus 1.5, Rams minus 1.5, Patriots plus 3, Kansas City Chiefs at even. We have the Seattle Seahawks at plus 3.5. We have Arizona plus 9, San Francisco 49ers minus 1.5. We have the Jets at plus 11, Atlanta Falcons at plus 2.5, and we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at minus 1.5. That's a $4 bet to win $100. What are your NFL Week 1 picks? What's your lock of the week? What's your upset of the week? Who are your favorites? Who's a guaranteed loss this week? Will I go 0-22 or will I go 22-0? So our first bet was for 12-team parlay. That was $5 to win $5,000, and this is a 10-team teaser, $4 to win $100.